What's going on, Professor Weinberg and Mastering Marketing? Today for my DIY video, I'm going to be showing you how to change the oil in a 2003 Ford Ranger. Let's get to it. Alright, so the first step is you're going to want to pop the hood of the truck and take off the oil cap. And that's going to ensure that the oil will come out in a timely manner and it's not going to be, dripping out slowly because there's a vacuum. So you pop the hood, take off the oil cap. The release for the hood is this little clamp right here. Just gonna pull that and the hood should pop up. Now, once you got the hood up, you're gonna wanna come over here to the oil cap and just remove that. And like I said, that's gonna help the oil flow out through the car in a much more natural manner. Now, one thing I forgot to mention before you start doing any of this is you're gonna wanna let your car run for a couple minutes before you start changing the oil. And this is gonna help the oil, if it's hot, when the car is running, it's gonna be cycling through the engine and it's gonna come out so much easier than it would if it was stuck, if you just pulled it in and did it cold. All right, so we're all ready to remove the oil from the truck. And to do that, you're gonna need a 5/8 inch socket and a socket wrench. And I'll get that out of the truck and show you, but you're just gonna unscrew the nut from the oil pan, let the old oil drain out into a collecting, container, whatever you have, whatever's gonna be able to collect it. And you're gonna let that all flow out. And I'll show you that step by step right now. Okay, so we're under the truck right now, and as you can see, this is the nut right here that I was talking about you have to remove. And so for that, that's the 5/8 inch right there. And you're just gonna attach the socket to the socket and then just remove that and let the oil all come out. I'll show you that in a second. We're under the truck right here. I'm about to loosen up this nut right here, and then hopefully you should see the oil start flowing out into this catch pan right here I have. And these are great because they're reusable. You can take them to the AutoZone or Napa Auto Parts, and they usually recycle the oil there for free. So highly recommend doing that. Don't be dumping it in your neighbor's yard, all right? So let's get this guy off here. All right, so the oil is starting to drip here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the pan underneath it. So it doesn't cause too big of a mess here in my garage. Now once you're to this point, you should be able to just unscrew it with your fingers. And now get ready because the oil's gonna come out quick once you get to this point, all right? All right. Yep, there it goes. So you want to just let this sit here for a couple minutes, and yeah, it should all come out pretty quick because we did have the engine on before this. All right, so you saw how fast the oil was coming out earlier when I just took off the cap, and now it's barely just dripping, if you can see that. So we're gonna go ahead and put that nut back onto the pan right there, the oil pan, and then we can go ahead and start, putting the new oil inside the truck. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this screw back in. Let's get the bolt back in. And when you're tightening this, you don't want to make it so tight so that the next time you do this, you're not going to be able to get it off. But you also don't want to make it loose so that the oil might leak out of here, while you're driving. So you want to kind of find that in between area. All right, so right about there, you know, it's tight enough so what I can still tighten it more because, I mean, I'm not like crazy strong, but like, you know, but it can definitely tighten it more. But you know, I'll leave it right there just so that the next time I do this, I'll be able to just pop it right off, no problem. So I'm gonna take this out of here, and then yeah, we'll get to filling up the truck with the new oil. Okay, so additionally, typically you'd want to change the oil filter when at the same time as you're changing your oil. And I got the flashlight and the oil filter down there. It's that black little cylinder with those notches in it. And you know, usually you would do that when you change the oil in your truck, but I did change the oil about 3,000 miles ago, and this filter lasts for about 7,500 miles. So I still have a little life left in this one, and it's an extra few dollars at AutoZone that I saved by not doing it. So that's another little tip for you. All right, so the next step is we're gonna put the new oil inside the truck. So you're gonna want to check your owner's manual to see exactly what kind of oil you want to put in your truck. It depends on your climate. You know, if it's colder, you want to put a different sort of oil in there. But you know, generally for the 2003 Ford Ranger, they recommend you use 5W20, and I usually go for the full synthetic high mileage oil, and that's just, you know, this car is getting a little older and it's, you know, up there in the miles. And the fully synthetic oil, it's a couple more dollars than normal oil is, and it works much better. I think it's a no-brainer to buy it, but you know, it's all preference. And if you want to buy normal oil, you can. Not a big deal. I'm not gonna blame you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Ford Ranger takes exactly 5 quarts of oil, which is the size of this right here. So we got our funnel set up here, and we can just go ahead and get pouring in here. I'll try and do this while I hold the camera. There we go. So as you can see, the oil that you're putting in right now is much clearer and, you know, much thinner than the oil that comes out of the truck. And that's just due to the fact that, you know, when the oil cycles through the engine a lot, gets a lot of carbon buildup, and it becomes that black, sort of like viscous, thick color, like the color that came out of the truck, you know, 10-15 minutes ago. That was very dark, very black. And you know, with older trucks like this, you're definitely going to get the engine's not going to be as clean for sure as a newer car is, and especially, you know, 2003 in a truck, it's not going to be as clean as the cars are today. So we just pour that all in there, and yeah, we're gonna put the cap back on and check the dipstick. I'll show you that right now. Okay, so now the oil has officially been changed, so we're gonna go ahead and take this cap and throw it back on. Oh, come on now. There we go, nice and tight. And we're gonna go over here and check the dipstick right here. I'll show you that right now. Okay, so when you're checking the oil in the truck with using the dipstick, a lot of people make the mistake of just pulling the dipstick straight out like this and just looking at the reading, and that's not gonna give you an accurate reading, because this is actually the oil that was in there from before we did the change. So what you want to do is wipe it off like I just did and stick it back inside the truck like so. Pull it back out, and we should. It's kind of tough to see, but the oil. This is the minimum line right here, and this is the maximum, and we're right in the middle right here. So I'd say job well done, successful oil change. There we go. All right, so that's pretty much it. I just closed the hood of the truck right there, and I checked under the truck to see if there was any leakage from the new oil, and there was none, so we're all set there. And it was important to do this, to change the oil in your truck every 3,000 miles or so, because it's just gonna help the truck run for longer, and you're not gonna run into those internal engine problems, which can be really expensive when you're trying to, replace your carburetor or something. If you just spend, this cost me $20 today, and you do that once every 3 months or 3,000 miles, that's what, $80 a year, versus you don't do it and then eventually your carburetor breaks, then you're out what, $400, $500, or you have to get a new car. It's just simple things to keep your truck running. And, I think everyone should be able to change the oil in their car. It's pretty easy. All you need is a couple tools like I showed you: catch pan, socket wrench, and the right size bit, and that's all you need. Maybe a flashlight or two. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Professor Weinberg, a master of marketing, and I'll see you next time.